Hey, everyone. Welcome back. I am so excited to be here. We are pulling the call. I am Cris Rivers.
And I am Mandy Mac.
And we are excited to be here to introduce the amazing vegan green tea ice cream loving Sasja Fierce.
So perfect. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone.
Truly our pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Yes. And not only does Sasha like ice cream, Sasha is also an amazing pole dancer, pole coach, pole performer. So many things that she didn't want us to say.
Yes.
So we are so excited to learn more about her pole journey and so thankful that she's here with us today.
Yes. Awesome. So we'll get right into it. Um, what started your pole journey?
A friend of mine, we were working in subtitling together, and she said, "Hey, I heard about this new exercise craze, pole dancing, and you get to exercise and feel cute and sexy." And I was like, "Ah, you've been my friend for a while. You know I don't like to exercise, but I will go with you." She signed us up for the class, and I was like, "This might be fun." And we went. This was in Los Angeles at Allure Dance Studio with Nicole the Pole, and I was like, heels and shorts. I'm not vibing. I don't like it. I'm not conservative, but this is not my jam, and my family would kill me. So I'm gonna wait in the lobby and just watch you have a good time. And the owner of the studio, Nicole, said, "You can't." I mean, it was quite aggressive. "You can't watch. You're either going to take the class or you have to wait outside." And I was like, "Okay, well, I already paid. I might as well take the class." And I fell in love. And they were closing down for Christmas at the time. So that was Christmas of 2008. And they didn't open again until maybe the second week of 2009. So I came back in 2009 and did not miss one class and have not stopped polling since. It's been almost every day, I kid you not, or every week since 2009. My body is like, "Please slow it down. We're tired." But yeah, I just never stopped. I loved it so much. It's completely changed my life and saved my life. Um, like really actually saved my life. So, and then that friend that introduced me stopped. I'm so sad because she would have just been fed by it so much, but she's so happy that I kept going. So
Yes. Maybe someday you can push her and force her to go like she did you.
possibly.
That's incredible. Wow. So about 14, 15 years of an incredible journey. That's so beautiful. And you said almost every day, every week.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
incredible. My, my body's crying out for you.
Well, I started teaching 4 months after beginner classes. So it's been teaching since then. I really haven't, I'm like, well, now I'm a teacher. I can't stop, right? People are depending on me and I love it so much, the exchange. So I just never stopped.
Love it. What is your favorite type of pole? Like, what's your pole style?
Do you mean static spin? You mean the
Yeah,
actual
or
pose?
like sexy style, trick.
Oh, stop. I love it all. I've been noticing as the industry changes a little bit, everyone is has made a business out of it and has niched. And I just have not. I like to do it all and be well rounded. And did I get a did I get a snap?
Love it.
And I just like to learn it all and love it all. So I do love, 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 love static. I love dynamic movement on static. And I really love heels. I like the sexy and I like the sport. I like it all. If I had, dance training more or, you know, the, I don't know. I don't know what you'd call it, but if I knew how to dance well, I would say off the pole. I would say contemporary too. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels when I go to contemporary pole class. But do not ever, ever take me dancing like at a regular on a regular night, like at a club or something. It's really embarrassing. I cannot. I can hold a beat. I can two step, and that's where it ends. So sometimes my wife is like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" So yeah, it's bad.
But,
And I'm Jamaican, so that makes it worse.
oh no. You, so
It's
you,
pretty bad. Dirty wine, all that. I can't do it.
oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Can't do it.
Thank you for sharing that. It's refreshing to hear that you've made such a successful profession and career out of not niching out. You and your profile page definitely shows that your tricks, heels, sexiness. So it's definitely inspiring to know I don't have to try to niche out. It's so hard as a pole dancer when you're trying to start a business to fit the norms. What's going on? Do I have to be sexy? Do I have to do crazy ass tricks I'm scared to do? Things like that.
Yeah, I think it puts you in a box, and I do not like boxes. I'm a Gemini, and we like it all and to do it all. And so it does work when you niche. Obviously, you're known for something and people come to you for that special something. But I think after all this time and people getting to know me, they know what they would like to see from me or learn from me, and that they can get A, B, C, D, E, F, G if they want to. And I do it for myself as well. So I do the things that I enjoy, and I'm not going to change that to make a buck. So it's about me and it's about them, and I try and stay true to myself.
Mm. I love that. We talk about like being authentic in your pole dancing, but it's also really important to be authentic in who you are as a pole dancer and your teaching and everything too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And it's always a nice reminder to hear that it's not about us, it's about the students, because we all need to keep hearing that as instructors and social media posters. It's not about us, it's about the people we're serving.
Yeah. I mean, it's equal. I think it's important not to get left behind, especially if you've ever owned a studio, which I have. It's very easy to get caught up in the business side and begin sort of resenting the art side because it becomes business to you. And I've watched people lose the business because their passion, their heart isn't in it anymore. And on the other side, I've seen, social media videos where the instructor is, having a good time and going through choreography, and the students are completely left behind and lost in the background. Or students saying, yes, I have this pole star instructor come, and they were so mean and they were not patient, and so it's important to have balance and to know that it's very much about you, and you have to have the passion for it and enjoy what you do, and look out for the people that you are teaching, because you're there to help them as well and serve them. And it can be a tricky balance. It can be tricky, but those who are great can find the balance and do it all. And there's some great passionate pole instructors out there who I love to take with, and I appreciate them, and they're from way back in the day. So to the OGs, you have my heart.
I
Yes.
love it.
Thank you for sharing that. Always learning. I love learning on these interviews.
Mark, you said you started teaching just 4 months after you started taking. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that journey?
Well, it was fun. It was fun times. It was learning all the beginner movement. And back then it was like, just get into it. I was taught, just get into it. We didn't know much about anatomy. We were just kind of flinging ourselves to and fro. And you can use a crash mat. I don't know. Are you vibing with a crash mat today? I don't know how I made it through, especially having zero background in fitness. So yeah, I'm just happy I'm still here. But now we get to teach from experience, right? We do it this way because get the crash mat, because proper warm up, proper cool down, explaining things, not just do this. So, and then really I'm a fan of taking my time, and sometimes students don't like that. They see what's on the gram, they're like, I want to do this now. And I really truly believe in setting a proper foundation so you can build your house safely. So, some want to rush it, and that's fine. They'll go to someone else. And then for those who are in for the long haul, they'll come to me. So
I love it. Do you have any more teaching philosophies that you want to share with us?
I always tell students, especially people who write me on social, and how did you do this? And you make it look so easy. And how do I? And I say, you'll get there. Take your time. Um, don't go off of social. It's tricky to do, but try not to compare yourself to anyone else. You have no idea what their background is. And people learn at different rates. We all have different body types. So this is your journey and your journey alone. Enjoy it. That's very, very important. Sometimes we can be wrapped up in things that are not important. And when you get bogged down, maybe take a step back, maybe get a refresher, go hiking, do something else, cross train, and then come back to it to make it fresh and new again. But also remind yourself why you started in the first place. And that will kind of, give you new life and allow you to enjoy what you're doing. That's it.
For sharing that. Yes.
Mm.
I feel now there's a shift in the industry. Like back then, even when I started 8 years ago, it was like you said, get into the trick, do it, not much foundations. And now people are taking the time to condition, enjoy the journey. And it's so important that we do that, like you said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Getting certified too. Some of us have insurance, you know, taking care of ourselves, or better care of ourselves. So it's good.
Mhm.
Yes.
Good.
Right. And as our bodies change throughout our journey too, because I mean, that's a long time to be in one um athletic form, it's just like you have to learn to like do other things or like adapt for, you know, maybe.
And it can be tricky too, because when you look at your past self, when I look at my past self, I think, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see if I still got it. And some things I do, and some things I don't. I just don't. And that's okay. And you sort of have to be okay with where you are now, from this moment forward, and get to love who you are now and not live in the past so much. So that can be sometimes a hard pill to swallow too, but such is life. And then that crosses over to everyday life too. We are not who we used to be. And in some ways we're even better. So,
Right, we evolve. And
yeah.
you said that you had a studio as well. Do you want to tell us about that experience?
Sure. This was in Los Angeles, pre-pandemic. We were about 3 years in. It was a personal fitness, that was my wife's side, and pole. We also did nutrition coaching, my wife, and stretch therapy and coach calls and one-on-ones. And it was a fabulous place. It was all women. And so really supportive environment and loving, and not always about the workout. So sometimes our members would come in bawling from personal issues, and it would be like, no workout today, let's sit and talk it out or go for a walk. Or it was just a very special, unique experience. And the pandemic hit, and you can guess what happened. So we closed it down and moved to Florida and completely switched industries. Completely. Yeah. People are like, are you going to open another studio? No, we're just going to, because it shifted to online, which we had an online arm to the company anyway, right before the pandemic, thank goodness. And then when everyone switched, it became, well, I'm doing my classes for $5 or just for donation and we're like, we gotta do this. And we both love the personal touch and being in person, so it just didn't work anymore. But now, I still teach and travel a little and, have found sort of a way to do both the real estate with my wife and pole.
That's so awesome.
I love how you asked me one question and it trails on. So
I'm about to do that
I don't even
again.
remember what the original question was. I was like, and my puppy was brown and
Talk about traveling, and I think that is something I'm really interested in doing as well. And I hope that you can share some maybe experiences, some of your favorite traveling fun times, and like maybe some tips for other polars who are interested in traveling.
Yes.
let me say this. It's always when you see posts and I've been here and I'm being whisked off to, it's not glamorous. It's not glamorous. You're working for a few years ago when I just started in 2015 touring. It was land, teach, go back to the airport, fly, land, teach, go back to the airport. It was like no space in between to even see where I am. That first trip was all over Europe and I saw like no countries because I was in the airport or in a studio and it was really, really exhausting. And then the next year, my wife actually became my manager, and that's probably the best experience I've had. She padded all the studios, so we had time in between to actually see the countries and enjoy and rest and breathe, and it became more enjoyable. The fun parts are, of course, seeing everyone, and even if you don't speak the language, we all have one common denominator, which is pole. So you can really connect over that. And that is the most fun. Meeting studio owners and see how they run their studio, which is vastly different from studio to studio. You really get to learn about people and see the country. And one of the funny things is that I found funny anyways, how people clean their poles. One studio owner said, "Oh yeah, just get the alcohol." I'm like, I only see vodka. Is there? Yeah. We clean with that. And it's like, oh my goodness, you clean with actual alcohol, and it works so well. So just little things like that. But yeah, I would say tips are if you are managing yourself, learning how to negotiate and not being taken advantage of because two sides want what they want and not just giving yourself away. Padding your trip so you have breathing time and really getting to know who you're teaching. Take time to get to know them, spend time, see what they need. Because people are so excited to meet you and to get to know you on a different level. And we owe it to them to show appreciation by slowing down and giving them a moment. What else? Pack light. Pack light, not in a duffel bag. Nothing that's going to weigh down your shoulders. So you want to be able to teach still. So have a roller bag. Even if you're gone for 2 weeks, just do laundry. And know that in Europe, you'll be hang drying, not using a dryer. So just things like that. Hopefully that was helpful.
It was. Thank you for sharing that. Usually we hear about the glamorous stuff of the traveling, so it's nice to get the advice such as padding the trip so you can enjoy it. And I love how you mentioned taking the time to get to know those people who are coming to see you. because you're right. Sometimes we're just, especially in America, we're just go, go, go. Like we don't take that time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you've also been on tour and danced on some big stages.
Hey, I wanted to ask about that.
You can ask, you can ask.
I'd like to go into some performance history experience now that we talked
Mhm.
about your teaching in studio only.
Yes, performances. Well, those were my biggest have been competitions. Those stages were, oh, so great. Competitions used to be just absolutely cutthroat, especially in California, and it was submission only. And um, oh man, competitions you just really wanted to be on that stage, and it was always the same people getting in, and you'd be left behind, like, oh no, and try out a million times and then finally get it. Anyway, yeah, those were great stages. I recently came back from St. Louis also and got to perform at the Michelle Minx Pole Extravaganza, which is just I I'm gonna be honest, I shed a little tear when I had to leave because the community there is so loving, so giving, friendly, warm. Um, Love pole. I mean, I taught workshops too, and those people were not playing around. Um, just very hungry to learn and very hardworking. And I love that community. I love that community. It was so great. And Michelle Minx is just a yummy person, a yummy person. So I just so appreciate everyone. That was great. Being on stage, I felt alive again because I hadn't performed, gosh, I think since the pandemic, maybe during the pandemic. So yeah, that was amazing. Great stage to be on.
Oh,
Yeah.
that I that you're right. The past competitions were definitely much different than this, but this I would love to. Does Michelle Minx accept like men as well?
Yes.
I've never even heard of this. See, always learning.
Everyone. It's about everybody. Everybody. It's so diverse and you can do anything you want, express yourself however you want. Um, it's very open and very supportive. Yes.
How have I not heard about this? So much to learn.
And
Yes.
where is that located out of?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I
Minx
was
Pole Academy. Oh, there's also a pole studio. It's Minx Pole Academy. Yes.
okay.
Yes.
And I was also reading your bio, and you've had other kind of performance experiences as well. Would you like to go into that?
I have, let's see. My very exciting. I was teaching really tricky things when I teach. It's like they're either really good or really but let's stick to the good part. So I was teaching and I just happened to open my Instagram and I saw that this world famous choreographer liked my video. I was like, oh, that's so, that's so trippy. Did that really happen? Do I really see the name? Let me screenshot it, right? Then I go in my, say I have a direct message and I see this is the choreographer's name. Please get in touch with me. I need you to audition for blah, blah, blah. I need a tape by tonight. And I was like, this could not be happening. Is it really this person? Let me click on their account. Let me see if it's really them. It's really them. Okay, now what do I do? And it's like, get in touch with my assistant, something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to stop teaching, rent studio space, make up something to submit to this choreographer so that I can see if I can get this gig, right? I pull this out of nowhere, submit it, and she's like, okay, great. So we're going to start rehearsals tomorrow. I need a space. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. She took me on, and now she needs a space. Now I have to coordinate and get the space for her. I can't let her down, right? And then we start, my wife is trying to be, she's like trying to get into the fridge, like so quietly. It's okay. So then she's on podcast too, and like more regularly than I, and I like have to tiptoe around the house. And I'm like, anyway. So we get the space, rehearse for 2 days, I think, and then go to this huge sound stage. This was in Los Angeles. And then it was all for Coachella. And so then I took the pole stage there, and it was for Halsey. And I've never performed in front of so many people in my life. I stepped out on stage and I almost froze because I saw just a sea, and it was like a never-ending sea of people. And I was like, I had a moment of forgetting everything I was supposed to do. But that was such a great experience. I had a blast, an absolute blast. And after that, I worked with that choreographer for 2 more projects, and it was always just such a good experience. Oh, I got featured in Rolling Stone, and that was cool. That was cool. So all these cool moments, and that was 2016, though they've passed, I always have them to hold on to, which makes it really, really special. Yeah.
Wow,
That's,
I love that. That's like something I always dreamed of, like just
oh,
looking at the audience and be
and the audience is so giving, and there's like, it was such an electrifying experience. I'm so glad that happened and that they trusted me to do it. And they weren't even looking for big tricks. They're like, trick it out, but also it's not about you, it's about the artist. So just don't kick her in the head. Just keep it cute and safe. Good times.
That's so exciting. Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. Those are memories
like,
that one can take away, and you can add them to your resume.
Don't you think about that immediately? They're like, resume. You know, people are gonna love this when they're about to hire me. Yeah. It's always, and now Paul is everywhere. Paul is everywhere, and it's so great to see. It's so good to see us crossing over and being respected for what we do, and you know, hopefully getting paid properly. You really have to advocate for yourself. But it's wonderful. Paul has come a long way.
It sure has. It's exciting to see where we'll go, hopefully in the good direction.
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah. Do you have any pre-performance rituals that you want to share with everyone?
I do. Mostly due to my competition coach, whom I've done every competition with, almost every competition with, Veronica Paul. She's in Los Angeles, and she's just fabulous. Yeah. So she always taught me to uh sort of phase out the noise. So even when I'm training, I'm not paying attention to anyone else. I'm not competing with anyone else. It's just about me and being better than I was before. And when I actually, and to visualize down to every nuance, every facial expression. Even if I'm not physically moving, just close my eyes and visualize. Listen to my music so much that I know every part of my music, all the little sounds underneath, um, all the dynamic moments, that I know it very, very well. When I get to the venue, to stay away from everyone. So she puts a barrier around me, and she's like, no one should step into this space. I'm not kidding. Someone tried to approach once, and she was like, no, no. She was like so Secret Service with them. So no, 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 no. And so just to keep a clear, positive space, and not to watch any performances before, like right before mine, just kind of stick to my own. And then when I get on stage, just go within and remember why I'm doing this, remember why I pull. And as my mom always tells me, positively affect one person, and you've done your job. Inspire one person, and you're golden. And so I always remember that when I perform, when I compete, even if it's a little show in a pool studio or a little stage, I take it just as seriously as if it's Coachella, right? And to always give a lot, because there are people out there who haven't gotten to the place of doing what they want to do. And maybe your one performance will push them over the edge, and they'll say, you know what? I don't care about what anyone thinks. I don't care if I don't have support from my friends or my family or my job. I'm going to do this anyway because it makes me happy. And you could be the turning point. So I always have that in mind. And yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's such beautiful advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. It also reminds me of at the bottom of your email, you had something very beautiful written. It says, move confidently in the direction of your dreams. And I was like, oh, yes.
Always have conviction, because then what? Then who are you living for? I've always believed in doing what I want. And my family by now, they're like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm not even going to worry anymore. Just let Sasja do Sasja. She'll work it out. It may be good, it may go bad, but she always does what she wants to do. I've quit jobs not knowing where I'm going or how I'm going to pay the rent, but I'm like, I'm not happy, so I'm just going to move on. And if it doesn't work, then I'll do something else. I did, where was I at the time? I think I was working in insurance, and snooze. I mean, it was enjoyable for that time, but I'm an artist. And I was like, you know what? I've been offered an opportunity to be an assistant designer. It was for an accessories line, handbags. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. It's a new company. It may work, it may not. And it flopped after a while, but I was like, I'll find something else. And then it was television, and I loved television, 13 years in television. And I was like praying for something different. I was like, this is not quite hitting anymore, and I just want something different. And I went into work, drove up in my new BMW with the shades, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to. I always went to work in heels. It's like all men, not really respecting women too much. And I was like, I'm gonna go over the top and wear my heel. You know what I mean? And I'm your boss. So I'm your boss, and that's fine. So I pull up and I was like, okay, this is the work for today, everyone. And they call me in and they're like, your whole department is laid off. And I was like, all right, let me just get my shades. Let me just get my shades from my office. Uh, and I drove off and I was like, universe, thank you. I have savings. I'll be fine. I had just started pole dancing, and I was like, I'm just going to do this for a while and have fun. And maybe I'll send out resumes for another TV show later on. Let's just see how I feel. And then it turned into teaching. Then it turned into competing. Then it turned into touring. And I was like, I'm never going back. And then I came back. It was real estate. But I rode each wave until I was done with that wave, and I've never been afraid to go to the next thing when the thing that's been serving me is no longer serving me. So yeah, that's what that quote means. Just lead with conviction and follow your heart. Be smart too, but I just lead with passion, really. And it always seems to work out.
I appreciate you and thank you for sharing that because I'm going through something similar with my mother. So it's definitely refreshing to hear. Thank you
Mhm.
so much. And I'm sure other people who listen and watch this are probably going through similar things.
Yeah, yeah. And it will work out for you. Just consider everything that you want, and I'm not sure if you're big on prayer or if, but it definitely helps me to get very still and know that the answer is always, always there. And not to talk myself out of it or second guess myself, because we always have the answer, even if it's a little scary at the time. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Right.
I know so much good advice. I'm learning so much.
I know. I feel really inspired. Thank you for sharing all of that. Right. I don't know, for me too. I'm also like off a weird track, but we need to always follow our heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I
hate
think
to sound preachy. It just hurts when people are feeling stuck and we all go through it, you know? But someone told me once, actually a psychic, told me once that we have, and I don't know what everyone's beliefs are, but this resonated with me, that our life contract is decided before we get here. And when we get here, the human form takes over and we forget what our life contract is and we get distracted. And sometimes things happen to bring us back to the center to remind us what path we are supposed to be on and that the path is always, always right. And that you are the timing is of your life is always right and to not freak out, to just center and the answer is there. So that's why I say, and this person is incredible and I wholeheartedly trust everything that she has told me because it's worked out. So, and I found my answers. So just center yourself and get
Oh, that's beautiful. I've heard that before too, actually.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, well, I guess we should ask our usual questions.
my
Like,
favorite question.
yes, go ahead and ask it.
Do you have a favorite pole trick or even a pole nemesis?
I have both.
Yeah.
My whole nemesis is the Cupid. You know what that one is, right?
Yes.
It's not purpose because of my skinny legs that I cannot hold on, but it literally takes a breath out of me and I just start screaming a little bit. I mean, I'm right there. I can grab on, but I just freak out. I don't know what it is to this day. I'm 14 years in. Like it's my nemesis. My favorite of all time, and I still got it, is the kamikaze. Do you know what that is? Do you know what a fungi is?
I know the fungi, yes. Not
So
the
you flip and turn around to catch, right, and flag. And instead of going back to your shoulder, you go to cup grip, Aisha.
okay.
It's hard to kind of see, but I'll see if I can find one for you and tag you in it so you can see it.
Don't give Chris any ideas.
What do you mean don't give me I love that stuff. I just
Or you can look up kamikaze, PD kamikaze, and you'll see it. It's just it makes me feel like a superhero. So I love it.
that sounds fun. I've been working on my baby fungi, so kamikaze sounds like fun.
Yeah. How's it going?
Um, it's going.
That's good. That's good. It's
It,
going. Keep at
um,
it.
it's definitely come a long way from what it was before. I can get from the flag into my cup grip invert. So I'm working on getting into the shoulder mount next.
Yay. Okay. Wait, your flag to your cup grip invert in a split grip like this?
Um, funny grip. Sorry, funny
Oh,
cup.
funny. Okay, okay, okay. That's really good. I
Thank you.
would love to see. I would love to see your progress.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
Right?
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
offer any online coaching?
I was just about to ask
You
that.
know, I really miss doing it. My house is an animal farm. It's lit. It's a wonder that it's so quiet right now. Well, at what time is it? They're napping. They have nap time. So if I were to turn the camera, you'd see a cat passed out. We have five. There are five animals in this house and a wife. And come December, there'll be a baby. So uh, it's really difficult. So I just took the poll down. I was like, there's no way I can do this anymore. So unless I find a studio where I can, teach it, probably not for a while, but my students from way back ask, and I really miss seeing them because everyone kind of moved around the state and, I don't get to see them in person anymore. So I would love So once I figure that out, I will let you know.
Yes, that would be so awesome. Oh my, please do.
Yeah.
Yes. But for now, we'll have to travel. What studio do you teach out of?
I am at Vertical Attics in Pembroke Pines in Florida, South Florida. They are, I believe, 3 years old now, so they're fairly new. So warm, warm studio. When I met the owner the very first time, I knew that would be home. That is Venus Virgo on Instagram, Vertical Attics Pole Studio, and they're great, great.
We'll add that to our tour.
Yes, OMG. Tour. Those are fun.
Right, we're manifesting this tour.
Are you doing a tour?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, this year we're doing studio tours where we do like Zoom videos and they tour the studio. But next year we would love to be able to do actual tours where we're there in the studio. That is our dream.
Yay! I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Domestically first,
Efforts, yes. Yes.
first, and then you'll
For
ex
now. For
Mhm.
now.
We want to promote all the studios. We've used this podcast to share pole dancers, and we want to up it to share studios as well.
Yay, that's very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're super excited.
Very good.
Enough about our future. Do you have any plans for the future, Paul?
Are you judging USPC?
That just happened, and I was blown away. US Pole Champions, this was their first competition, and I am so excited for their future. Um, Debbie White is the organizer, and I've never seen such an organized, meticulous person. And so everything just flowed. And the competitors, the level of competition reminds me of back in the day, or when what was it? IPC, and I mean it was like that. So, or the original pole art. So the competition was fierce, just beautiful amateur and pro, and both divisions were something to be reckoned with. It was great to watch. Yeah. Very exciting. And I'm gonna watch for these artists because they're definitely going places. So that was in Berkeley, and that was tons of fun to judge. I judged with Suwasit, Heidi Coker, and Natasha Wang, and that was great. My plans for the future is just getting through this baby in December. I don't think I'm traveling between now and when the baby is due. So, and then I'm back in February. It's sort of go on a mini tour, but we're still in contract, so I can't say where that is. Um, but yeah, I let me just get out alive this baby, and then we'll see.
That's so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, and I can't wait to hear more about this tour. We'll have to look out for those dates coming soon.
Please.
Okay.
I don't think you told us your favorite pole trick. You told us your nemesis, the Cupid.
No, my favorite is the kamikaze.
Ah, yes, you did say that. Forgive
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
Don't forget.
We had a whole discussion on that. Let me write this down. Lord,
You'll be doing that after your fungi, so don't forget it.
kamikaze.
Yes.
Man, I will not be doing that.
No, but maybe you could be my spot. I need to start signing up.
I will absolutely spot you.
Okay.
That's one of my hindrances with my progression. I usually, when I practice, I don't have someone to spot me, so I can't really practice as hard as I would like.
Yeah, that can be the tricky part too. As much as I train on my own, there's some things that I just won't try unless someone is there, and I seldom have someone with me, so I understand. I understand. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm gonna figure it out.
when you come to Florida to do the studio tour, I'll spot you. Just build in a couple days for playtime and we jam. We do a pole jam.
That would be fun. My grandmother lives down there, and I have to pay her a visit too.
Oh yeah? Oh cool. Okay. Very good.
Perfect. And
Today.
I'll stay with your grandmother too.
Too funny.
Oh
Too
my
funny.
God. There was something else I wanted to know. Like how many classes do you teach a week and do you do any cross training and what are some things you do outside of pole?
Quite a few things.
I now teach one class a week, and that's really, really because I love giving and they have such a good time learning and to feed myself. I don't think I can ever walk away from pole completely. So it's always in my life. Um, and what cross training? I told myself I was going to start this week, but I just got back Monday, and there are people all around the house. We're having a party this weekend, so we're preparing the house for a lot of people. So all that to say, that's an excuse, I know. I have not exercised, but I'm going to. Leg work, glute work, and a little abs. I love doing outside of pole cycling. So we live about 4 miles from the beach, and I'll just ride and for the sunrise and just sit on the beach for sunrise and then ride back home. So in Los Angeles, we rode a lot because there's some great hills. Hair is flat, so it's not the same. But I'm trying to work back up to 40, not 40 miles. I think we did that once, but maybe 20, maybe 20 miles. And yeah, so cycling.
I love it. I'm always interested to see what kind of workload teachers have and what they do in their spare time because it is hard to find a balance
It
and it's
is.
very personal.
It is. I also walk the dog. It's nice to just walk and chill out with him and, you know, just do things, little nature hikes but mostly in Florida's beach, you know? So yeah, I think one day I may take up yoga. I've taken a few yoga classes and I love it. Hot yoga especially. So,
Yeah,
I've been thinking what next and what does my body want to do as I get older, because it's a thing.
could
And
be.
something with less impact.
Yeah,
So next year I will be 50. So I'm trying to like think of the next thing and kind of ease into something else while still keeping pole, but just maybe not as, much.
Right. Thank you so much for saying that because I'm 42 and I'm starting to understand that the impact that my pole training has on my body is maybe I can decrease it a little bit to make it more enjoyable
Yeah,
for the long term.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Stretching, cross training, eating properly, getting body work regularly is so important. I think that's the reason I've been able to last this long. I at least have three, three of the four. So uh we'll see. We'll see how the rest goes. But definitely starting to be more mindful of the things I do on the pole and having thorough warm-ups and um yeah, taking better care.
yes.
Yes.
Get certified to teach yoga.
Did you
Yep.
say teach?
Yeah.
Oh no, no. I will be a student. I will be 100%. I love being a student. I love being a student. I love learning. I love going to other pole classes and to see how people teach too. And, their cues and people teach differently and they teach different things. So I love being a student. It's so important to do.
It is.
Yeah.
And at least something from every class, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't ask this question much, but I like to throw it in. Where do you hope to see yourself in 5 years with pole dance?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's hard to, I've always told myself when I have a child, I'll probably want to stop everything because I love being with them all the time. That may or may not be true. I don't know. Um, but I know having animals, and this may sound silly, I don't know. I was talking to some other artists about this recently too. And as I get older, I want to be home more. So, and then having animals and, the family, I hate being away from them. It like kills me. So being gone this last time, 2.5 weeks, I was like, am I ever gonna make it home? I miss my family. So I don't know. With respect to pole, maybe I'll still be teaching. Um, I love the idea of master classes. So guiding other instructors. So maybe it will be there instead of students. Maybe there'll be more specialty classes or workshops. I'm not sure. Stay tuned.
Hey, can't wait to see what happens. We're hoping if we're around in 5 years, we're gonna do 5-year interviews to see where everybody's at.
Oh my God, that would be so much fun. So much fun.
Yes.
Oh, I'm a NASCAR driver now.
I love it. Different type of pole work.
Right? I'm a figure skater. I just didn't. I'm goofy.
Follow your heart.
Follow your heart.
I'm sure we could find question. Did you find pole dancing helped with figure skating or driving cars?
I know, I know. We'll find something.
Do you have anything else you would like to share or promote with anybody listening or watching?
I think just what I said before about having fun with what you do. And when it's no longer fun, then explore why, and always keep your why at the forefront. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for sharing your beautiful journey. It's been really inspiring to hear
Thank you.
it.
And we will have all the links for everything you've provided and in the comments and the notes for everybody.
Yay.
Yes,
Great.
and stay tuned for your tour and all the other beautiful NASCAR driving adventures in the future.
Too funny. Yes, this is gonna be a busy year for you.
Now I'm gonna have to make sure I do all these things and more so that the next time we meet, I'm like, yeah, I built a
Did
house with
it.
my own hands from the ground up. I'm in the Olympics. For, I don't know, disc throwing or something. Yeah, it will be something. It will be something.
Oof, Olympics. So much for slowing down.
Maybe I'll be behind the scenes. I don't know.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
I love it so much. Thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
pleasure. Thank you for all you do for the pole community, for coming out today, and for inspiring the masses.
Yay.
Mhm. And
Can't wait
thank you.
to see what the future has.
Yes.
Sorry, I always interrupt. Well, I guess with that, we'll thank all of our listeners and all of our viewers for watching this episode of Fall on the Call podcast. And my name is Mandy Mac.
I am Cris Rivers. Ooh.
My name is Sasja Fierce.
Yes, who loves vegan green tea ice cream?
Love it. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Our
you.
pleasure.
Thank you, everyone, and to all the listeners out there and anyone who supported me over the years. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Really our pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.